do you decide what kind of cuisine you want to start cooking, or what kind of niche you want to start serving when you're starting out a catering business?
When I first started, I noticed there was and this was 2014, 2015. So I noticed a lot of caterers were just kind of doing the substandard, whatever. You had a couple of really good boutique ones, and shout out to them. They're great, and they started from like 2008 or something like that. And I looked at them and like, oh, these guys are doing it different, but everyone else is not. How I decided I wanted to do it is I wanted to showcase foods that really speak true to me, who I am. I like cooking low and slow. I like taking time. I liked everything from scratch, literally, like from the bread to the meat. Like I grind my own meat if we're making burgers. I braise it, I ferment it, I pickle it. Like it was a bit excessive, but this is who I was. I wanted to show. And when you're a young chef, you want to showcase your skill. You want to show who you are, what you can do. So that was me. I like the casual but fine dining, which at the time wasn't really a thing. Now everyone's doing casual fine dining, where you go to a restaurant and you have like a number of plates. They're like, we'll serve you what's ready. It's a sharing concept. Like I'm sure you've seen that everywhere. Oh, it's a sharing concept, but it's amazing plates, and they're showcasing who they are. And I think if I'm going to mention a chef, Chef Urfali, Mohammed Urfali, they asked him, what's your cuisine at Urfali Bros? And he's like, this is what I like to cook. This is like, these are the things I like to show. And, and he cooks with passion, and that was how I started. And that's how most chefs, they want to showcase who they are, what they can do.
Yeah. So once you've developed your dishes and you've identified your best sellers, how do you go on about to create a menu? How do you balance that menu from both, a diversity perspective, but also from a financial perspective? How do you make sure the menu is profitable all the time and also pleases your customers?
Yeah. So let's assume that it's an event. Someone's throwing a party. It's someone's husband or wife's 40th birthday, and you want to make sure that there's a diverse menu that most people can enjoy. So how I start making a menu for the customer is I start off with what are the different proteins. So chicken, fish, beef, vegetarian, vegan, so I try to do kind of like a collaboration of all of these different types of proteins to make sure that at least something is being hit, because customers come from all different types of backgrounds, different types of dietary restrictions. Some people don't eat beef, some people prefer not to eat chicken, there's pescatarian. So I try to hit all the protein groups first. So that's how we start. And then when you're doing an event, you kind of need to understand, okay, what are the events that are happening alongside the catering? Is there a cocktail party in the beginning? Like, are you planning on passing around some drinks? Are you planning on passing out small bites? So these are questions. They're like, yeah, the guests are going to arrive a little bit earlier. We want to pass around a few bites. So how long are you doing? Oh, like an hour or two. Okay. 2 hours, we can serve maybe 4 different types of canapes. So you'll do a fish, vegetarian, beef, and you make sure to hit like some of those groups. Then, okay, what time is dinner going to be served? Oh, 8 p.m. Okay, so by 8 p.m. And what type of, do you want live stations? Do you want us to make a show? Do you want our chefs to cook something for you? Or do you want just, simple buffet? People come and there's now this big thing with the grazing tables. Do you want us just to set the food on the table and you guys graze? So you find out that info and you then decide, how much food. Now
that's the financial aspect that starts to kick in.
Yeah. So that's where now the question becomes, in terms of financial, like for us, how do we avoid food waste, or how do you stop your customer from either ordering too much or too little? So you kind of have to understand who the clientele are. Like, what's the age group? And you think,
That's
why would you want to know the age group? Because A younger crowd will eat more.
Really? Okay.
Younger crowd will eat more. Sometimes they'll drink more. So and they'll and some will drink more. And we even asked like, is your group more drinkers or more eaters? And if they're more drinkers, then we're like, okay, then don't go too crazy on the food, because everyone's out to have a drink and have a good time and socialize. Whereas the eaters and people who just want to eat and enjoy, they're probably going to eat more as if they're younger. 35 plus, we're all watching our health. We're all trying to take care of ourselves. So I wouldn't recommend a pizza station, for example. I'm like, hey, are your friends like super healthy or anything? Like, yeah, they are. Then I'm like, okay, well, maybe not a pizza, maybe risotto, like a nice risotto on a wheel. Like, because rice is okay, but carbs are nay, So like when I say carbs, I mean like flour and things like that. So some people try to avoid that. So I'm like, maybe not that, maybe a nice tenderloin steak, some fish. We have a beautiful fish station. We'll salt bake it. And it's a conversation, which is why it's a little bit different than restaurants, because I'm having a conversation with my client. I'm like, hey, what do you like? What do you want? So catering is more personalized. The word catering, I am catering to you. I am whatever your needs are, I am going to cater these needs to you. So that's where the customer kind of has to be involved as well. And that's where we can showcase how the party is going to look, where we're going to put the buffet tables. Hey, are you getting a DJ? Is there going to be dancing? Because if there's going to be dancing, then there's only a set period of when people are going to eat. So like for an hour and a half, between 8 and 9:30, everyone's going to eat. And then they're going to continue the party. So then the food's done. You close the buffet, and like people just go and enjoy the rest of the night. Yeah. So it's complicated. And I wish this podcast was longer so I can sit down and really explain to you what it takes to create a menu for a party.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you manage your costs as a business, notably food costs? Can you tell me of a time where you became aware that you had high food costs, the impact that it has on your financials? What did you do to try to fix that?
We've experienced it a couple of times. Usually when we start a new project, our food cost shoots up. Because we're experimenting, we're trying new things. We're trying, like for example, if we're opening a new cafe, and by cafe it's like a corporate cafe. We're trying to understand the customer, and we ask them like, who are the people that are coming? Where are they from? What kind of food do they like? So you'll start sending products, like let's say for breakfast items, granola, menaish, chia seed puddings, things like that. But then they're not buying it. So your food cost goes up because you're throwing it, because it has a 2-day shelf life.
Yeah, it's waste.
So in that scenario, yes, our food cost goes up. Another way is, like I said before, it's you're checking on the on what's being thrown in the garbage. It could be as simple as opening the trash every hour or so in the kitchen just to see like what's being thrown. Why are these parsley stalks being thrown in the garbage? Use them. Why are these carrot trimmings? Just make a vegetable stock. Yeah. We use it. We use it for risotto. We use it to make soups. Each corporate has a daily soup. And we don't Maggi cubes and these powders and these unnatural flavoring. We don't like to use that. We don't. And we like to make our own broths, our own stocks. And these are ways how you manage food costs, but also get a better product. And you check your inventory. You have to keep checking and check the system. And like, for example, we went through 60 kilos of beef today or something like that. I'm like, really? Why? But we only sold like about 40 or something. What's going on? So you investigate. Why? What's going on? Oh, this went bad and we threw it away. Okay, why did it go bad? Yeah, we over-ordered. Why did you over-order? So, and then that's where you tighten. It's a business at the end of the day. Like the move as a chef from being a chef to more of a businessman, it was a very painful transition because I was first like managing the business with passion, and I was the main reason why our food cost was so high. I'd be like, this is not a good product, throw it. They'd be like, no, but we need, nope, throw it. This is not the brand that I wanted. I want this brand. You know, and I like the ego, the passion, like, no, we have to do this. And our food costs were through the roof. But then when you become a businessman, it's like, listen, let's stick to these brands. Don't change it. If you want to change it, let's have a vote in the team. Let's make sure that the product is good, you know, or you're going to get the same end result. Yes, okay, this product is cheaper, but is it good? And we had that, like, they switched our ketchup one time from Heinz to another brand. I don't want to hate on a brand, but they switched it to another brand, and our classic burger sauce tasted horrible. And I was like, wait a second, what happened? Like, and I told him, I asked one of the chefs, I'm like, can you make it in front of me? I want to see what you're doing. And he just grabs this Mickey Mouse brand and he puts the ketchup inside. I'm like, what is this? And I went to purchase. I'm like, guys, they're like, it's 4 times cheaper. I'm like, yeah, but it's 4 times worse. Mm-hmm. It's not a good tasting ketchup. It's things like that. But I think the transition, the passion, it's still alive, but there are days where it dies. And it hurts, you know, like sometimes you're like, ugh.
Business comes first in these kinds of times.
It is, but you never change who you are. Like, we are Pinch, we are a high quality brand. Try not and change, you know, and try and keep that culture alive within everyone. You know, like don't allow shortcuts. Don't allow a cheaper brand. Oh, they raised the price of Heinz, for example. That's fine. We still use it. Doesn't matter. Unless another great brand comes along, don't change it, you know, and keep that alive. And it's hard because some people just want to cut corners, and you have to hold people accountable for that.